States of America. This is Smart Mado Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International from Houston, Texas, United States of America. How is your Saturday going? Those in the United States, those in Nigeria, you are getting ready to go to bed. Well, I hope you're going to stay around to listen to this very important stream. And people from Africa and around the world, here is another moment at understanding what is taking place in Africa and why we are stuck and the reason we must move and fast too in order to save our continent and our children, guarantee a future for them. It is our right to do so for them, and the moment to do it is now. So today we're going to be considering very seriously why democracy in Africa is not working. Yes, why democracy in Africa is not working. So I encourage our subscribers and the new members, those who are joining us, please join us, share and like, and be ready to comment, share your opinion about your idea and the way forward for Africa. If you are an African listening to this program right now, yes, and we are going to be talking about democracy in Africa and why it is not working yet for the people of Africa. And before we continue, I want you to listen to this. This was a Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria during his presidential campaign, and then justify what the state of Nigeria is right now, because he wasn't ready in the first place. So you will see, and no, laugh as much as you want to laugh, and then we get cracking. All right, let's go with this now. Right, can you see him wobbling? They were literally holding him because he has lost gait and balance. And this is exactly what is happening to Nigeria right now. Nigeria has lost balance. Yes, Nigeria has lost balance, and Nigeria is staggering, falling, like you saw Bola Ahmed Tinubu staggering in that picture, in that image, in that short video. So how can a country continue that way? Are we not at a point where we can say, look, we have to put an end to this? But that is, by the way, what we are going to be talking about is democracy. Africans lost it totally. What is democracy? Let us consider what democracy is in literary sense for the layman to understand. And what this is the definition all of us know about democracy. Democracy is the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. I say once again, democracy is the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. If you are an African, I don't care which country you come from, it's your democracy, the government of your people, by your people, and for your people. So that is an answer all of us must provide. And maybe perhaps as we grow in number, we'll be able to have a clearer picture and an understanding. We want to share, with everybody what it is in their various countries in Africa. I know what it is in Nigeria so well. And having the benefit of living in the United States, I know too what democracy is about. All right, let me connect with people on TikTok so we can get rolling. Yes, all right. All right, TikTok, welcome to Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International. So please join us from wherever you are on Earth. We're here on YouTube, on TikTok, and we're going to be connecting soon on Facebook. So we are talking about democracy, the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. With reference to Africa, if you are an African, is democracy, is this definition that we just gave, is your democracy reflecting that? Is democracy in your country, in Africa, the government of the people, for the people, and by the people? If it is so, please, I would love you to comment. So this is an interactive session. I will try not to talk too much unless there are not enough people to talk about this issue. Africa will rule the world. Okay, yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. So, hey, Vivek, very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate. Please share. Eric Plasky. Don't worry, they are going to come. We just started. They're going to come. They started streaming already. Just in a few minutes, they'll be coming. Yes. So we're going to come. All right. So we're going to come. They're coming. They are joining already. A lot of people are joining from TikTok too, joining us for this very important discussion on democracy. Eric, where do you come from? Eric Plasky, where are you from? Please give us an idea of what democracy is in your country. Is it working in your country or is not? We would love to hear. Yeah, this is an interactive section. We want to learn from everybody. We want to share ideas. We want to cross-pollinate ideas about our understanding of democracy in wherever country we are. But we are, using this. Okay, we have democracy. That is Eric Plasky. From which country are you, sir? Which country? I would love to know. Are you from the United States? Or you are from Libya? Or you are from Iraq, Iran, Ethiopia, Somalia, Kenya? All right, you are from Poland. All right. So you are saying that in Poland, democracy is working very well, right? Congratulations if that is the case. Wow. So will you be willing to share your experience in Poland with the rest of the world, especially Africans, so they have a greater insight into what democracy is? Great. All right. Yes. Please join us, share this message, invite more people in order for us to have this serious discussion on democracy. Yes. Sanfe, I've not been in Paris in recent times, so I'm not sure I was the one you said you saw in Paris. So perhaps you saw someone who looks like me. Hey, hello to Okocha, how are you? Okay, I'm saying hello to Okocha on your behalf. Which Okocha are you talking about? You're talking about JJ Okocha, the Nigerian soccer player? All right, that is what you are saying. All right, I'm saying hello to him right from YouTube here. All right, those okay, Free Palestine. Yes, I join you to ask for the freedom of the Palestinian people. The same way I will ask you to join your voice with the people of Nigeria who are being persecuted too by they are suffering the same fate. The Palestinians are suffering in Gaza. we have a similar problem in Nigeria, where the same some people who support Palestine, yes, are supporting evil in Nigeria based on a religious difference. So, but I stand on the altar of neutrality, and I stand on the altar of humanity to advocate for the liberation of the Palestinian people, just as much as I want the liberation of the Nigerian people from the same type of people who share the same obnoxious idea, just like those who are tormenting the Palestinians. So we stand. So I hope you'll be fair enough to stand the way I stand. Even though I am not an Arab, even though I am not a Muslim, I am standing for the truth. I am standing for what is right. I am standing because I recognize the Palestinians as human beings. Just as the Palestinians, I expect, or those who support the Palestinians, to recognize that some Nigerians who are being persecuted because they are Christians, they are human beings too. So that's the thing, because there are things, the lack of understanding is one great problem that we have. The ignorance that drives hate is what we are doing our best to address. All right, let's say this. Otis, thank you very much. I am trying to come home, but the held captive in the United States, out on the street, homeless and nowhere to go, in the entire community of Albany, Georgia, hating because I got a gift that they don't have. Well, I'm so sorry about your situation. You are in Albany, Georgia. Can you tell me exactly, Otis, what your problem is, so we can have a better understanding of what it is? Thank you very much for all those who are joining from TikTok. Yes, share your ideas. We appreciate you coming on board to be part of what we are doing here right now. Thank you. Ismail Keita, thank you very much. And when you join, if you want to speak, let us know. And also, thank you, Truth Teller. Yeah, I appreciate you. I love your name for what it is. Thank you very much for joining us. So we are talking about democracy, the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Yes, Sanfre, Kanu, and Oshima need to speak on it. Well, I wish they can do so. Some of those young people, they don't want to get involved with what hurts the greater humanity. They are afraid. They want to keep their soccer career going. So they don't care much about the people just the way I care. Yes. Tony, yeah, you said Israel must go. Well, I hope somebody tells Netanyahu to end the massacre of innocent and defenseless children in Palestine. Because what he's doing, very soon he will surpass what Hitler did. But the same thing Boko Haram is doing in Nigeria. The same thing the man that they call the Sultan in Sokoto supports in Nigeria. The massacre of innocent and defenseless Nigerians because simply they are Christians. Yes, they want to cause a jihad in our country, to overrun our country, in line with the blind vision of their founding father that they call Osman Dan Fodio. So they are as murderous as Netanyahu is doing. So they don't belong to this world. They are criminals against humanity. And they will have to pay for the innocent blood that they are spilling. All right, so democracy in Africa, why it is failing. In the first place, Africa has had a democracy for all of its life. Democracy means fairness. Democracy means free, fair, equal, unlimited, and unconditional access to opportunity for all citizens to enjoy, to grow and develop, and progress and prosper. Democracy means viewpoints from different angles towards a destination for a people and their country. But in Nigeria, in Africa, the meaning of democracy, because we went outside and they started borrowing what we already had in abundance, then we took what was wrong. We borrowed the wrong thing. We were having no problem. We never have had an economic meltdown. Yes, Africa has never suffered economic meltdown, for any reason. There was always food to eat, not just food to eat, real food, organic food, not chemical, not genetically engineered food. We didn't know anything about that until they started telling us about this damn democracy. It's not working in Africa. Now, they say democracy in Africa, every 4 years, they set a timeline for people to vote. We prepare for it. They make us buy equipment. We buy electronic materials that is supposed to make it free and fair. But when they come, the votes are rigged. The people's vote don't count. So what use is that? And then the products are people who should be in jail and never near the corridor of power. Can you imagine a Nigeria with a drug dealer in charge? Drug dealer, a certificate forger, a fraudster, terrible fraudster, yes, who has sold drugs here in Gary, Indiana, in the United States of America. He sold drugs, yes, in Illinois. And his connection was global. Yes, he was arrested, prosecuted, and found guilty here in the United States. But instead of putting him behind bars for the debt he caused people, for the pains he caused families, the United States did a plea bargain for a criminal, for somebody who murdered people through his illicit drug deal. Yes, they collected nearly 500,000 US dollars from him, and they called it settlement, restitution. Then now he was free. He returned to Nigeria and became a senator. From becoming a senator, he became a state governor of the richest state in Nigeria. I am talking about Lagos State. During his tenure as governor of Lagos State, he was a terror. He controlled everything. As we speak, he owns over 3/4 of all the resources in Lagos State. Yes, from there he amassed this unbelievable and inordinate wealth with which he took on Nigeria. He bought every institution that there was to buy. He bought the armed forces. He bought the traditional institution. He bought the INEC. Yes, the electoral umpire. I want to tell you this. The electoral umpire was at his house on the eve of the 2023 presidential election. The whole of Nigeria saw him. Yes, and they did not do anything. The man returned in his private jet to the state country's capital and then ran an election. Midway into voting, sensing that they are losing so massively, they decided to switch off the server. The server was switched off. International monitors, including those from the United States, were there. They witnessed it firsthand. United Nations representatives were there. Those who represented the European Union, the Achilles of Africa, they were there. And all these international organizations, they were there. Yes, all the international organizations. They were there in Nigeria when things went wild. They did absolutely nothing. The people of Nigeria have become so repressed that they are scared, to say anything. They went ahead and kept quiet. In the middle of the night, when everybody was asleep, the criminal INEC chairman, Yakubu, announced and declared this drug dealer the president-elect of Nigeria. And things moved so quickly. Within 24 hours, he moved into the defense house and started receiving the protection of the Nigerian army against the norms and against the provisions of the Constitution of Nigeria. The people of Nigeria kept quiet while this fraud sailed through. Nobody, not many people came out to physically object. a thing that will never happen even in the smallest, poorest country on earth. That slap in the face of the people of Nigeria. You switched off the server, votes were not concluded, people were being murdered in Lagos, some Nigerians were being asked to relocate to their places. Yeah, they are Nigerians. They live in Lagos. It became a tribal thing. They were unaliving Igbos. Yes, they were burning down their houses. They were attacking them on the streets of Nigeria, their country. And they were being asked to relocate to their eastern side of the country. Yes, that is how bad it was. In the middle of the night, a criminal was declared winner of Nigeria's presidential election. An election that took 4 years for us to prepare for. An election that cost trillions of naira, that's billions of dollars, to prepare for. I don't think America invests so much in preparing for an election. Because the election that I have seen here for 29 years that I've been here is seamless. States are responsible for conducting election. America has no INEC chairman. I've never seen America's INEC chairman. America does not have appointed federal election commissioners, secretaries of state, whether you are in an opposition state or not. They are charged with the responsibilities of conducting elections in their states. So they don't spend a lot of money on them like we do in Nigeria. Yes. And then when the time for voting comes, it takes place. And when the time for counting of votes comes, it must be counted and counted right. If you remember what happened in Georgia, the first time when President Trump was defeated in Georgia, all the efforts he made to have the Georgia Secretary of State change the result, he refused. Even though he was a Republican, he refused to do it. Do it in Africa, he will do it. So that is why democracy is not working. It's not, this democracy that we have in Africa is not for us. It won't work for us. And that is the reason Africa is stunted. Democracy in Africa borrowed from the West is not what, they did not borrow the right thing, because I know as a Nigerian, in 1977, when they were talking about returning to civil rule, Nigeria sent thousands of people to the United States to understudy America on how to run a democracy. How stupid that was. And the amount of money that was expended on that foolish project. It was a disaster, very condescending. And you see why the rest of the world looked down on Africa. You are going to learn what you already have. Democracy is fairness. Fairness is embedded in every human heart. What can we do to be fair to one another? What can we do to build a country where everybody will be respected, where everybody will have a shot at opportunity? Yes, that's what democracy is about. Did Nigeria have to invest so much money to go and learn nonsense? What did they learn? They learned absolutely nothing. Everything Nigeria is practicing, and I'm sure it's the same thing with the rest of Africa, is a direct opposite of what is being practiced here in the United States. So what's the use investing so much money on nonsense? Since then, what progress has Nigeria made? Since then, what progress has Africa made? Have we stopped being the weeping continent? Have we stopped being the beggarly continent, even though we have over 45% of the Earth's resources? Have we stopped being the continent that everybody have to be helping? Oh, let's go and help Africa. Africans are suffering. Oh, poor children in Africa. Yes. Has that stopped? Yes. What I believe, I see that democracy, the type of democracy that we have in Africa has produced some of the most stupid people as leaders of Africa. Some of the dumbest asses as the heads of state of Africa. Yes. Some of the most stupid idiots. And which is what the European Union, the West, the Imperial Europe, bigger. When I say Imperial Europe, including the United States, it's Imperial Europe. That's what they want. They don't want anything that will work for us. So that's how they have puppets all over Africa who don't know a damn thing about democracy. Yes. Thank you, Agbaduma. Appreciate you. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for joining. And again, let me tell all of those who are just joining us, if this is the first time you are joining us, I will appreciate if you can just do us a favor, because we want to grow organically. The reason I love coming here every time, to be very candid with you, because whenever I come, I meet organic people, people who are ready to engage, people who are ready to discuss, people who are ready to progress, people who are ready to build a connection, build network, build unity, build for progress and prosperity for their various countries. I love being here. So thank you. So if this is your very first time of being here, I will appreciate if you can just do us a favor and subscribe to our channel, and then help share our message, comment, love, and so that YouTube will continually, recommend our channels and our messages for the people around the world, because our message is universal, even though we mention Africa and Nigeria a lot, because I'm sure, I'm speaking to some of the issues that takes place, especially in the area that they condescendingly call developing world. Yes. So this is so we all have to band together. We have to learn the rudiments of doing good and doing justice, in our various countries. So thank you very much. So please, if you have not subscribed before now, I will appreciate if you can click that subscription button. And then, if you want to do further by supporting us to expand our mission and expand our message, because we spend a lot of time doing this, preparing for this, and then doing the actual broadcast. Like if you want to support what we do, you can send us super thank. You can do a super chat with us too, as much as you can, so we can continue to project this message forward. And those from TikTok, this is the second major broadcast live broadcast that I'm doing on TikTok. Please follow me. If you go back, and I will encourage you who is watching me from TikTok and YouTube, please, beyond listening to this live broadcast, I will encourage you to go back to our previous work, so you can see over 1,500 revolutionary messages left here on YouTube for our growing community to go back to always, because we are not here to live tomorrow. We are here to leave a message that will transcend generations. Yes, and that will transcend religious or ethnic or racial background. So our messages are messages that cannot be thrown away. They mean a lot today, and they will mean even more tomorrow. Yeah, and the reason we exist is to make the world a better place. We are building a network, a movement for global understanding towards global security, peace, and stability. We need it so much. Hey, how are you, Nefri Constantia? Thank you very much for joining. We appreciate you. Yes. Hey, Luke, thank you very much. Yes, so we appreciate you. So back to the issue of discussion. So what Africa and African countries are practicing as democracy is not what we should be practicing. Yes, because the drivers, the vehicles of the democracy in Africa are the wrong drivers. One, perhaps because they did not learn the right thing, and secondly, because perhaps they learned some right thing, but they refuse to apply what they learned. If you learn democracy the way it should be, you should not be overtly too tribalistic. You must not allow your religion to blind you to justice and fairness and equity to others. Democracy is about just equity. Yes, equity, fairness. Yes, and the only people who can drive it are men and women of conscience, men and women who love their countries, men and women who love humanity. Yeah, they are the only one who can drive a democracy to a fruition. So if you are a hater, if you are a criminal, if you are a corrupt person, you can't drive democracy. And sadly, this has been the situation and still and remains the situation in Africa. So you see the reason why some people who have revolutionary ideas, who have arguments, what to do to grow Africa, to make their various countries in Africa better places. This is why they get frustrated. Some of them die frustrated. Some of them leave the country because intellect is something you cannot hold down. You cannot jail intellect. Your intellectual capacity does not thrive in places, in environment where they are subjugated. So that is why you see a lot of us leave the country and then go to other places where we are given the enabling environment to express ourselves. And that is the reason why you see a lot of Nigerians, they do so well when they are here in the United States. They do so well when they are in the UK. They do so well in Germany. They do so well everywhere. But when they go to Nigeria, they don't allow them the access to impact the Nigerian system with what they have acquired outside here. Out of mind, 559, thank you, my brother. You are back. Your jollof. I don't know how I'm going to get it across to you. Well, you live in the US. You need that jollof, man. I promise we're going to find a way around it, okay? So thank you very much for joining us again. So what we are practicing in Africa is not democracy. It's not like we cannot practice democracy. We can do democracy even better than the United States. We can make it work. But before democracy can work in Africa, there are a lot of things that needs to be done. Me, I am not interested in democracy in Nigeria. I am not interested in democracy in any African country where junks, pieces of shit are leaders. It ain't working. That is why it's not working in Nigeria where I come from. Nigeria is a joke, total joke. Oh, Washington, D.C., 1 mile from the White House. Oh my God, say hello to, do I say hello to Donald Trump? All right, it's really interesting that that is where you're from. A few months ago, I was in Baltimore. So when next I'm coming, I'm going to have to let you know. Yes, so that we can connect. Thank you very much. So it's a lot of African restaurants in where you come from. So I bet that is how you came to know about jollof rice. So are you Nigerian? If you are Nigerian or you're an American, we can hook you up with jollof rice. That is easy. All right, thank you very much. So we've been talking about democracy and its practice in Nigeria. Oh, you always wave at Trump with my middle finger. You're crazy, man. All right, whatever. Africa is rising, and we got to lift Africa well, wherever we are, So let's get it going, and this is why we are exploring the best ways forward for the continent, so we can have the real thing. So I was talking about what frustrates some of us. When we leave Nigeria, we leave Africa, we come here because we already have the gene of hard work. We already have the gene of a survivor. When we come here, we survive against all odds. But when we go back, we are like fish out of the water. The system locks the door on us. They turn our people against us. Our people who need our expertise, our people who need the truth, they don't want to understand that our people have been made to believe that life is just only about once you can feed, and that's all food, food, food. Now once they can feed, they close their eyes about the damage being done to their country. That's why Nigeria is stuck the way it is. That's not the way Nigeria is being run down, and nobody can stand up. So the frustration arising from democracy is so much. Yes. So starting from the political party line, I want to be president for Nigeria, of Nigeria, for instance, or I want to be a senator. You have to join a political party. Now, when you join these political parties, or any of these political parties are in Nigeria or in the whole of Africa, for as much as I know, are not driven by any known ideology. But like in the United States here, the Democratic Party is more of a socialist party, more to pro-people. But the Republican is individual expression through what they say, hard work. You understand? And they are not too big on government. But in Nigeria, what do we have? The ideology that drives the politics in Nigeria is stealing. Stealing. Yeah, he said, okay, out of the mind. He said, you asked the question, is there differences between Nigeria, Niger, Ghana, Burkina Faso? There is not supposed to be any difference, but there are differences. And the differences are colonial differences. We are one people who were forced to speak different languages. We speak the languages of our colonizers, our oppressors and exploiters. Nigeria we are forced to speak English because that's the only language people from different ethnic nationalities in Nigeria can speak, and they understand one another. All right? We don't have it like it is here in the United States. So in Nigeria, we speak English, unfortunately. And in Niger, Niger and Burkina Faso, they are forced to speak French. In Ghana speaks English as their official language. Okay, all right. You are an African, my brother, man. All right, so that is the thing. But this is the bridge. This is what we are trying to bridge now. This is a dysfunction. This division is what we are trying to bring together. And that is where when you hear, I know you believe in it. We're talking about Pan-Africanism, bringing Africa together for us to go back to who we were originally. It's a tough task, but it can be done once it has been envisioned. Yes. So any difference that exists between me and someone from Burkina Faso was not what me and that person wanted. It was what those who colonized us, those who sat in the comfort of their cold room in Berlin in 1884 and 1885, brought upon us. It's not because we wanted that to happen to us. It was such a painful experience, so sad that we had to go through that. I wish there was a slide that I had here that I would have loved to play for the people so to see what happened to Africa. I don't know if I can, let me see if I can easily do it, from here, but it's going to be somehow. Yeah, so it's a sad thing. When you listen to that documentary, you will cry for Africa, for what happened to Africa, and the events that the African people have had to pass through. It's so graphic that you will tear. And the people who did it, they don't care. As far as they were concerned, or they are concerned, it was okay because it served their purpose of survival, subjugating the African people, exploiting the African people, creating the African people like dogs and transporting them across the Atlantic was okay for them. It wasn't bad. They didn't see any reason to recourse to consequences for their bad action. Sadly, their descendants are doing the same thing in the 21st century. And this is the reason why you, I, and the rest of us must stand up to tell them that your ancestors enslaved our ancestors. They colonized our ancestors. They brought apartheid, to our continent that destroyed many of our ancestors. And then it's having very dangerous impact on all of us. So we will not allow you to continue. So this is the reason why we are enlightening the African mind to stand up, to start thinking, and think well of himself, self-actualization, self-respect, self-dignity. We must have to purge ourselves of our colonial mentality that is still being taught in our schools because of the wrong academic curriculum that we have. Yes, this is a problem, but it can be solved. Now that the problem has been diagnosed, you and I and all of us can solve it. I am talking about you, I, including you, who are from the good ones, the good people from the countries that were responsible for colonialism, that were responsible for slavery, that were responsible for apartheid, and they are responsible for globalization, that the elites from those countries, yes, from Imperial Europe, think that is a certificate of occupancy. Now, I will not be fair holding the Europeans accountable without holding the Arabs accountable too for what they did to Africa. 700 years of Arab slavery. 700 years of Arab slavery, during which time every black male slave was castrated for 700 years. So these people have not been fair to us, but we are not going to do the same thing that they did to us, to them. We are telling them now that we have come of age. We are ready to graduate from your universities. We are ready to graduate from your elementary schools. We are ready to graduate from your high schools. We want to be the Africans that we are. We want to control our resources. We want to control our destiny. We don't mind sharing, but we have to share as human beings. You don't throw things at us like dogs. We want to grow our own economy. We want to develop our own technology. We want to build our own financial system. This is why we must disarticulate ourselves from their type of democracy. It's not working. The African people have never been a hungry people before the advent of imperialists from Europe and the Arab world. We had always been self-sufficient. We have never gone hungry. We were not the cave people. Yes, if we were the first civilization, we were actually the first and only God-handmade creation. All of them came through us. You are a Chinese, you have an African in you. You are a white man, you have Africa in you. You are European, you have Africa in you. You are from Asia, India, you have Africa in you. So why all this against the people of Africa? So this is a moment for Africa's awakening. We are rising. This is a moment for Africa's renaissance. So this is the reason why we must develop our own system. So we will not continue to copy. Copycats can never be an original cat. A copycat will never be an original cat. We have been copycat for far too long. They made us copycats. So we must grow our own democracy. We must brand it the way for who we are. Yes, you know the reason why Ibrahim Traore came to power? He came to power because he was frustrated. He came to power because he felt that his generation was being sat on. Yes, he came to power because he knew his country has this enormous amount of natural resources, but it's not trickling down to the people. He came to power to start a new conversation, and the conversation is being well received across Africa. There were people before him and talking about Kwame Nkrumah. There were people before him and talking about Emperor Haile Selassie, Sekou Toure, Modibo Keita, Thomas Sankara, Samora Machel, Kenneth Kaunda, Julius Nyerere, yes, and the rest of them. They came with different messages speaking about this same thing, but they were all shut down. But this one, they were not shutting down. Yes, they came. Yeah, another one that came from Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, Robert Mugabe was not a bad man by any chance at all. He was demonized. That is their tactics. That has always been their tactics. He was demonized. He was painted into a demon. The media destroyed him. They destroyed his economy, his country's economy. Caused mass starvation. The country's currency lost value. Like Nigeria's currency has lost value now. But the funny thing, the World Bank is praising Nigeria. Yes, when they praise you, you need to start asking yourself a question. All the financial institutions driven by European imperial mindset, they are not good for Africa. They successfully put Africa in debt overhang. We cannot take that. Yes. Yes. All right, out of the mind. He said Traore shouldn't trust Putin, Trump, and all. Yes, I agree. We must develop our own system. Independent African thinking is the best. But when we need partnership, but the partnership we need is the partnership that will be defined by respect. Yes, respect for who we are, and respect for human dignity, and respect for Africa, and respect for Africa's sovereignty. And this is the reason why the message and the vision of Marcus Mosiah Garvey has always come handy at times like this. Remember, he told us about the unification of Africa, and he told us about emancipating ourselves from mental slavery. That song that Bob Marley sang, it was from Marcus Mosiah Garvey was the person who made that. Bob Marley took it and put it into a song, which is very, very good and very, very innovative, so that the message will not be lost. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, because none of that can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing this song of freedom? Yet all I ever have, redemption song, redemption song. Yes, we need that. We need emancipation from mental slavery, because none but ourselves can free our minds. And we must not fear for their atomic energy for a time like this that has come. And this is the reason all of us Africans and men and women of goodwill from around the world must stand up for Africa and must stand up for the new face of Africa. A young, energetic 37-year-old, yes, standing up for the people of Africa. We must stand up to ensure that they do not take him down like they took down Samora Machel in the mid-air because of his stance against apartheid in South Africa. We must stand up for him so they will not take him down like they did to Patrice Lumumba, yes, in Congo in 1961. Why? Because he raised a question, he raised an objection. We must stand up and stand up firm for him like we did not do for Kwame Nkrumah when he was overthrown on his way to Thailand. Yes, we must stand up for him like we did not stand up for Sekou Toure when they came for him and destroyed all the infrastructure that they had built. Yes, their colonial infrastructure, including the sewage system that they had built, because he told them he would not sign the extension of colonialism. We must stand up for him like we never stood up for Modibo Keita in Mali, because he refused to sign the same document, extending colonialism. Yes. And then the presence of military base in Mali. We must stand up for him like we never did for Thomas Sankara, the greatest of youngest revolutionary in his time. Yes, when he refused to yield the ground to Imperial France. Yes, we must now stand up for Ibrahim Traore and many of them that are coming. Yes, we need more Traore in Africa than ever before. They will not come through democracy because they will not allow them. Yes, the system in their countries, like it is in my country, will not allow them to come. It happened to me. It happened to me. I left here. I left the United States in 2018 to run for a senatorial election in my country, Nigeria. I was the best of the candidates. Yes, even one of the candidates called me to tell me, you are the only problem that I have. With all his money, a billionaire, yes, he told me, Smart, you are the only one. And I told him, you know, you are not going to win this election because the party on whose platform you are running, they are not going to give you the ticket. Why not be the kingmaker? Why not line behind me? He was still hopeful that the court system would give him a victory. Yes, he went. He went. Yes, he went. And then they told him that he did not belong. Yes. I was punished for being the best. It started from the president of Nigeria at the time, Muhammadu Buhari. They told him, they gave him a wind about who I was. That this guy coming from the United States is a crazy person. That they must not allow him. They shut down the system against me. I made their political party popular in my home state. But thank God that I did not go ahead. You know, maybe for divine reasons. I discovered that the political party that they call APC is a terrorist organization operating in Nigeria as a political party. All those who mastermind terrorism and banditry in Nigeria belong to the political party. The chairman of the political party is an outright thief. He was caught on camera, stuffing dollars in his pocket. On camera, bribe dollar. Today, he's the political party of the APC. And his name is Ganduje Umar, Party of Criminals. Their president, drug dealer, certificate forger, and an identity thief. Vice President of Nigeria is a mastermind of terrorism with ties to Boko Haram. And guess what? In 2011, those who bombed the United Nations building in Abuja, Nigeria, were arrested in his house. I'm talking about Kashim Shettima. Yes, that is the mess Nigeria has. And how do you expect such a country to move forward? And how do you expect democracy to take hold in that country? How would you expect someone like me with integrity? Yes, I boast of my integrity. How would you expect someone like me to be elected there? Never. I will never win an election in the current state Nigeria is. Never. Never. Even Jesus Christ comes down to run for an election in Nigeria. If he doesn't belong to their crooked way, he will not win an election. I refuse to join a court where they drink blood. And I refused to drink blood. I refuse all offers that they made me because I know what I am. And I would not condescend to the level of doing that because I want political power. One of them told me, this is how we do it here. He came to my father's house to say he wanted to advise me. You know, you need to join them. I said, join what? He explained it to me. So I told him, get out. And I pushed him off our gate, get the hell out of my father's compound. You know the family I come from. We don't do stupid things like that because of political power. So, how can Nigeria move forward? How can that democracy move forward? Democracy of criminals. Everybody holding political office in Nigeria is either a thief, a ritualist, or someone who eats human being. You cannot. So that is why I tell those who are talking about 2027 presidential election in Nigeria, I tell them, please, don't get me involved, because there will be no election. Where is the pathway? Where is the pathway? The man who now became your rogue president, he came from the periphery with the help of some criminals who have access to the Nigerian armed forces, who have access to our country's resources. They help put him into power. So until those people are rounded up, we will not have an election that will lead Nigeria anywhere. Yes, we will not. So you running a gallivanting for 2027, I tell you, you are wasting your time. A country where the young people, the youths of Nigeria, are mostly rudderless. They don't understand the urgency that is required for them to take their country back. Yes, they don't understand. So a lot of times, they line behind these evil men, they line behind these criminals to rob their own country. How would you expect a people like that to move forward? Democracy is hopeless in Africa, very hopeless. With the way it is done, it's a hopeless thing. Yes, do you have money to buy people? The poor person, the one that I'm speaking to right now, they hear me. They tell you it's about they are hungry. The people of Nigeria have been made so hungry that their most important priority is food. So when you tell them about voting for you, voting for a good man who has integrity, you are joking. They will end up turning their vote en masse into criminals' ballot boxes. And then you become like somebody who committed a crime for coming out to run for an election in your country. It happened to me. I took all my money from here to run for an election. Some of my brothers at home, my sisters, immediate family members contributed money to my campaign. Yes, because the election is run in Nigeria. It's not like an election run here. Why do you have to bribe someone here for him to vote for you? He understands the issues at stake. So he has a choice to make, I don't know, I don't want to talk about too much about American election today. I'm focusing on America. Yes, on Nigeria, on Africa, So people don't sell their votes here. But in Nigeria especially, I know, they sell votes. The poor person that you want to go and free, he will expect you to pay him before he votes. And then if you don't, he's going to give it to the criminal who pays him money. And he or she will think it's a good thing that he or she has done. So for us to get to that point where Nigerians or Africans will be sane to choose the right type of leaders, we have to uproot this Nigerian system, uproot its current drivers, put Nigeria, press the reset button. It's only a few persons who will be able to press the reset button for whatever needs to happen in Nigeria to happen. Yes, some say Jerry Rawlings treatment. I think Nigeria deserves a lot much more than that. The country has to be cleaned up totally before we can put Nigeria on the pathway to the type of democracy that will work for us. The democracy that is defined as government of the people, for the people, and by the people. The democracy that will recognize that there is what we call separation of power. Yes. And the democracy that will pay attention to respect for institutions. Yes. Yes. A country where the democracy is just dictatorship. That's what we have. Everything revolves around the president. The president of Nigeria the presidency of Nigeria is the most powerful on earth because it's like a god. The God that will give you whatever he wants, all right, and take over whatever he wants to take. It's satanic democracy. I don't want to even put God in there. It's satanic. Yes, satanic democracy. That's what we have in Nigeria. Everything revolves around the president. If you don't toe his line, you are finished. You saw what happened in Rivers State. I don't know, those of you who are conversant with Nigerian politics, especially with reference to Rivers State, where a sitting governor, democratically, a supposed democratically elected governor, was removed from office, suspended for 6 months by an illicit president. Yes, citing using a declaration of emergency based on advice and the pressure from a drunk who operates as a federal capital territories minister. Yes, yes, it happened. As we speak right now, that governor has been reduced to beg this bastard who is holding the whole of Nigeria hostage as president. Can you imagine that? Yeah, are you aware that Nigeria is moving towards being a one-party state? Everybody is now joining the terrorist organization called APC, with all those who mastermind terrorism and banditry in it as leaders. And those who mastermind those who are killing Nigerians, unaliving Nigerians, everywhere in Nigeria. It wasn't the north only before. It has spread now. They go to the plateau and they massacre as they wish, grab their lands, take everything from them, and then the people now end up in IDP camps in their country. And you call that democracy? Tell me more about that democracy. Yes, tell me more about democracy in Nigeria. There's no democracy in Nigeria, and there's no democracy anywhere in Africa that I know. I want to be proved wrong. If you are an African listening to me, tell me if democracy is working in your country. Yes, I would love to know any country in Africa with this beautiful democracy that is working for the people. I would love to go there and really spend some time there. So tell me, if you're an African listening to me right now, tell me. So apart from this rhetoric we are all driving about Africa rising, Africa is not going to rise just from only our words of mouth. Africa will only rise, yes, with our action. Thank you very much. Africa will rise, surely, with our action. Are we ready, especially the younger generation of Africans? Are we ready? 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 Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Blessing. Yes. Are we ready to stand up for our country, our continent, our countries, our individual countries in Africa? Yes. Are we ready? Okay, Josiah Call, you asked a question. Your question is, are white people bad? Because I am one. No, I do not believe that all white people are bad. So we do not promote hate. White people cannot be bad entirely. That would be very, very wrong. So I don't hold that. Yeah, there are some bad white people, just as we have some bad black people and bad Chinese. These bad ones, sadly, are the ones that run nations. They are the ones that make the policies that we make for some of us to make very extreme statements about people. No, not all bad white people are bad. Yes, there are indeed very bad white people. Those who caused colonialism, those who created and conceptualized slavery, those who created apartheid, those who created all the evil that we are dealing with. Those of them who are white are evil. They are very bad. Very, very bad. The same thing goes to some of the Arabs that institutionalized slavery and then forced Islam on our people. Just the same way some white people came, brought the Bible and robbed our ancestors, while telling us that God is upstairs. They were below us, surveying our land and stealing our minerals. They have not stopped. Those are the bad ones. They are a species. Yes, they are a species. And they are mostly in politics, and they are mostly in commerce and economy. Yes, they thrive on the blood of human beings. They torment both black and white. So if you see them in America here, they are exploiting everybody. You know about the healthcare delivery system here. Yes, you know about the healthcare delivery system here. Yes, nobody talks about it, but that's going to be one big issue that we are going to be raising here. It is affecting both blacks and whites. because it is some people driven by corporate gains that bring about this Jim Crow system that exploit the people, that make pharmaceutical companies and food and agricultural companies to exploit the people, give us bad food, make us fat, make us gain weight that we don't need, and then here comes them giving us medicine. And every medicine you take for what they give to you will cause you another disease. Those diseases are killing both blacks and white. And this is the reason we say we must unite as a humanity. We must unite as a humanity to confront this evil. So put people that care about humanity in power. Yes, the unity of Africa is paramount. The unity of Africa is paramount. And it's now. And it must come with action from the African people, especially the younger generation. I keep hammering it. The younger generation of Africans must realize who they are from the schizophrenics that they imposed on us. Because being schizophrenic makes us so distant from reality, make us so distant from ourselves, make us distant from our neighbors. We must go through the process of decongestion. That is why we must emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. Now, the period is now. And then we know we are scattered all over the world. We are in France, we are in America, we are in Germany, we are everywhere. Wherever you are, wherever beach you are, think about Africa. Think about what you can do to make Africa a better place. And think about your own contribution to the effort at uniting Africa for real. The unification of Africa is compelling and it's a must. If it doesn't happen, they will divide Africa, they will colonize us a second time. And the second colonization is not going to be nice. The second colonization of Africa will not be nice. Again, I repeat, the second colonization of Africa will not be nice. It will be so devastating because it's going to unalive many of us. It will be an effort as exterminating the people of Africa. They have laboratories where they are doing any and everything that they like unchecked, because we don't have regulatory agencies that works right for the people of Africa. And where we do, they are corrupt. They can be paid money to allow the massacring of their own people using chemicals. Yes, Nigeria is a case in point. I know Nigeria has the best environmental protection policy on earth. I have read it. I've read the blueprint. But go to the Niger Delta where I come from. You will see the kind of hell the people live there. They eat and drink their shit. Yes. The place where the oil that made Nigeria the sixth producer of oil, the sixth largest producer of oil on earth, where they come from. They don't have hospitals. They don't have access to anything. They live in squalor. They live in abject poverty. And here comes one man saying he's president of Nigeria. He has been in position for 2 years, illegally and illegitimately. Yes, through our failed institutions. He is praising himself as the greatest president of Nigeria, where millions of our people are dying on a monthly basis. Yes, and the people of Nigeria are silent. They are patiently waiting for 2027. How would you wait for 2027 in an emergency situation like this? So the elites in Nigeria are jokes. The civil society in Nigeria is a huge joke. Yes, driven by men and women who will be offered money and they will take because they are hungry. Yes, and then tell us to be patient for a criminal to continue to destroy our country and our people. It's not different from everything. That is why you are having the type of rebellion from our young people who are in the armed forces. And we encourage them to do it because they can't come through democratic process. If they go, the same thing that happened to me will happen to them. Yes, kill them before they grow. That is what they do to us. Kill them for the Queen of England. Destroy them for Imperial Europe. How can you justify, how can you wrap your hand around presidential candidates in Nigeria's political parties taking turns to go to England to present their manifestos in the Nigerian election on the soil of England. England is not by any means a part of Nigeria. They want to go and bow to the colonial powers. They want to bow to their colonial gods. Yes, because they are not Pan-Africanists. They don't know what it takes to be an African. They are just stupid, daft, that we elect as leaders in Nigeria at all levels. So if you want to clean Nigeria, it's going to have to be a clean sweep, a far-reaching sweep. Nigeria deserves a revolution and not an election. An election will not take Nigeria anywhere, not under this dispensation, not with what we have on ground in Nigeria. Any person talking about 2027 is an enemy of Nigeria. It's a most unpatriotic Nigerian, because an election will not lead anywhere. Do you know one thing that they do? At the political party levels, they will screen all the good people out to make sure that you do not have that access to taking your aspiration to the position of a candidacy. How do they do it? They impose high cost of purchasing their expression of interest forms. Like if you want to run for Senate on the platform of a party, the cost of buying their form, you cannot afford it unless you're a thief. Now, because the good people cannot afford it, the thieves move in and buy it. And then the people will not have a choice than to choose the thieves. So they are limited by choice. They are limited on who to choose. The good people never have access to getting to that point where they'll be chosen. And then when they move to run on their other party platforms, the same people will tell you that your party is a small party, but your ideas are not small. So they don't understand this concept of choosing quality over quantity, choosing the right people over evil men. Our people have come to love evil. Our people have been forced to love evil men. Our people have come to learn to align with darkness. And in any place where that happens, why you have no right to demand for progress. Nigerians have no right to demand for progress. Nigerians have no right to expect their country to be like Dubai. Nigerians have no right to expect their country to be like the United States. Nigerians have no right. They have no right to expect their countries to be like Japan. Nigerians have no right. Africans have no right to expect their continent to be like Germany. All right? Because of the bad choices that we make. So this is a call on the conscience of the African people. This is a call on the conscience of our especially young people. Young people, 1.5 billion is the population of Africa as it stands right now. And of the 1.5 billion people, 75% of that 1.5 billion is made up of the youths. The youths make up 75% of Africa's 1.5 billion people. That is scary. That is scary. That is scary. Okay, Hector, you said disgusting flag of the United States, United Snakes. Well, I put it because I've been here long, and America has its good side. America is not a bad country. They may have problems with some of the drivers, which I will agree with you. But we cannot condemn the entire country as a bad country. Let's not get that extreme. But I understand where you are coming from. Yeah, that is why we call them out when they go wrong. And Americans make choices, just like Africans have made these terrible choices. So all we can do is to continue to dialogue and to reach out to people who are good. Let us be the majority of the people making decisions for countries around the world. And it can happen because the good people are always in the majority. But sadly, good people don't come out as much as the loud bad people come out. So that is why the bad people are loud, and they create this aura of power, that coerces all of us. So good people, it's time for us to take over the world because they're about to destroy the world for us. If we allow them, they will destroy it. So that is why you are a good person in Nigeria. Follow me at Open Nigeria. Yes, at Open Nigeria now on Facebook. And follow me right here as we are talking. Much love, from Brazil. Thank you, my brother. How is Brazil out there, man? I would love to come and visit Rio de Janeiro. I've heard so much about it, and Sao Paulo. So maybe you are going to be an anchor when I come there. So I look forward to that. Yes, much love, much love, much love. Yes, so good people in Brazil, good people in America, good people in Nigeria, good people in Kenya, good people everywhere. All right, they said visit Northeast Brazil. All right, okay. So what is the major town in Northeast Brazil? So I know how to program when I decide. Okay, that'd be very good. I will look forward to seeing you, man. Yes, so yes, the good people all over the world, we are more in number in every country. But for some strange reasons, we are quiet. We don't make as much noise as the evil people driven by economics. So this is why in countries where, okay, Porte de Ghana, okay, Galinas, okay, good, most beautiful beaches. All right, noted, man. So you're gonna be my contact person out there in Brazil. Thank you very much. So bad people make so much noise. The bad people in Nigeria are very wicked. Yes. All right, hater. I will do so. I will take note of that. All right. Did you see our email address on if you can check, I don't know if I put it there. So you can connect with me via email. Otherwise, I will read out my email, our email to you. And it is okay. All right, I stand for South, Global South, my brother. Great. We need that. We need a competition, to stand, where there's no competition, dictatorship reigns. So we need that competition. Definitely, absolutely. So if you want my address, email address, those who want to reach out to ask questions about what we do and then how they can do to help us grow, the email address is ONN Network 1 at gmail.com. I repeat, ONN Network 1 at gmail.com. One more time, ONN Network 1 at gmail.com. So if you want to reach us via that route, we'll appreciate, ask us any question you want to ask us, and then we address them. So thank you very much. So I am reaching out to good people in Africa, good people everywhere. Good people. Good must overcome evil. It takes good to overcome evil. The bad people in Nigeria have become so audacious. Really, they are not scared. They are not afraid. They are not ashamed. Even when we shame them using the social media, they are not there. They are so daring. I've never seen anything like that. Yes. And you know what? They recruit some young people to defend them on the social media. They recruit some young people to defend them physically on the ground. They use some young people to attack those who are opposed to their evil. Good people, we need to come out. And we need to come out hard and strong. Yes, to take over our countries. Yes, it's time. So I was talking about, yes, thank you. Yes, it said we are brothers, Brazilian and Africans are brothers. We share the same ancestors. Thank you very much. I'm so happy that you know. Well, I appreciate your subscription. Again, that reminds me, if you just visited here for the very first time, we will appreciate sincerely and very deeply your subscription. Subscribe to help us grow. And we want to grow organically because we want to be talking to the real people. That's why I resist the earlier to buy subscribers from those who promote that they have business, promoting channels, to bring subscribers. No, I want the subscribers who love what we do to come and listen to us and then tell some more people how good we are or otherwise, so that they can come and be part of us. And the way we run our show, we welcome everybody, including those who disagree with us, because we need to be able to talk to one another to understand. All right, take care, Ramos. It's a pleasure hearing from you. Now, please, let's stay in touch. Yes, thank you very much. So we need that understanding. It doesn't matter if you disagree with us. As long as you come here, you treat us with respect. If you have questions, ask us nicely. I had an experience with one young man yesterday. He was trying to derail us from the object of our discussion. But we're happy that we were able to handle him. We are not racist. We don't hate any race, but we don't tolerate those who have racist tendencies, because we respond like we are human beings. So let us treat one another with respect. So please join us and let us grow this movement and turn it into a global force for the good of all people. Hey, David Moss, how are you? Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. I hope you're having a great Saturday wherever you are. Thank you for joining us. And I hope you have subscribed. If you have not, please hit the subscription button and the notification button so that whenever we come on stream, you'll be one of those to be able to access us immediately. For those of us on TikTok joining us, we appreciate you, and all those who have sent us flowers, sent us all kinds of stuff. We sincerely appreciate you. Thank you very much. I will try and be more regular with a live broadcast on TikTok, and so that we can grow that community. So even though I don't post as much, I see a lot of people love the message that I've been sharing. Yeah, I post a lot short videos, on TikTok, but I'm going to get more conversant with doing live shows on YouTube, on TikTok along the line. At the same time, I'm doing on YouTube. Thank you very, 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 very much. I'm so proud of all of you who have joined this program today, where we are talking about Africa and the democracy that runs there. So, and the reason why we must do something, and very fast too, to create a pathway to the unification of Africa. Yes, I am happy with the stance of Africa is now taken. I am from Jamaica, the land of Bob Marley. Yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, Jamaicans are very, very Pan-African. I love them for that. The Jamaicans and a lot of African Americans here, they are very, very Pan-African, and more are waking up. Yes, Africa is home to you. I don't see you any different as far as you are a black man, or even you are a responsible white man who have respect for others. Come to Africa and be an African. It doesn't take skin color alone to be an African. It takes attitude, yes. And I saw one young South African white who made a very nice video about his Africanness. He said, I am an African. I am not a European. I don't know anything about Europe because I wasn't born in Europe. I have a white skin color, but it doesn't make me a European because Africa was where I was born. So he was calling his Afrikaner brothers who act foolish. And then those who came to report the president of South Africa that they were killing white people in South Africa, which was a lie. No genocide taking place there. So I love what that guy said. We want Africa to be open to responsible people from across the world, just as America is to us. That I am here. I've been here for 29 years. Yes, it's not everything about here that I like here. But a majority of things that keep me surviving and give me the latitude to be the best thing I can be. I am utilizing it for the good of all humanity. So when we see racists, we are not afraid of you of confronting you. If you come and think that your skin color is going to take you anything, get you anything, no, we are not going to have that with you. We don't like that conversation. So thank you. Yes, Africa. Africa is for Africans with good mind, regardless of who you are. Come to Africa. Love Africa. And you know what? Every man, every human being is an African. You know why? Science has proven it. Every human being, be you white, you have a gene from Africa. Yes, because that was the origin. That was where it all started. That's the reason where the story of humanity started. So those who hate on the basis of their color of skin, you are hating yourself. Well, you must love Africa. Love Africa so you'll be free. If you love Africa, there'll be freedom in you. Yes, it's a therapy. Start loving Africa. Start loving black people. Stop hating them. Don't kill them. Don't hurt them. Yes, their story starts to the beginning. Yes, let us love one another. It's one humanity. That's what God made. One humanity. God did not create white and black. He did not discriminate against us. He said, I made man in my own image. So if God made you in his own image, then you have to decide. He made you in a human because you are a human being. We should treat one another with respect and dignity. It's as simple as that. And if we have that, there will be peace all over the world. The Almighty God did not create the world for the kind of hell that some people have turned it into. Yes, some people, it's just a species of people that have decided to wreck the world. Beautiful, beautiful earth that God made, they are burning it up. They are setting the earth on fire. Yes, because of their greed. And they don't want people to raise a finger. So in Africa, coming back to that democracy, the way it is not working. Manuel, how are you? Thank you very much for joining. Yes. So we need a people-driven democracy. We need a democracy that has respect for others. We need a democracy that opens doors to access to opportunity for everybody unconditionally, yes, and unlimitedly. That's the only democracy that works. But in Nigeria, in Africa, we are not having it. That is why we have so much poverty. The democracy only works for imperial powers. Those who come into our countries to exploit us, those who come into our country to steal from us with the help of our own brothers that they planted as leaders. They call them puppets. They don't serve the interests of their people. They are against their people. They use the army against their people. Like the army in Nigeria is being used against the people of Nigeria. Yes, they use the police against the people of Nigeria. The police are supposed to be protecting lives and property of Nigerians, but they have converted them into an offensive force. The same way the army is, the same way the DSS has been converted. You see, as I am here right now, I am officially on exile. I can't go to Nigeria right now, not because I'm a coward, because I know that they are waiting for me at the point of entry. So if I go to Nigeria, I want to be brave. It's stupid, for me right now, knowing fully well that they are waiting for me. So why would I, on purpose, walk into an ambush? I'm more dangerous here now, and they know. And I'm more dangerous outside. They try to lure me to come into Nigeria. They offer me things to come into Nigeria so that they can get a hold of me. Either they silence you with bullets or they silence you using other means. So we know the games. So we are not going to fall for them. We will not continue to to talk until the people of Nigeria wake up and do what they must do. And what they must do is not in their election. What they must do is to uproot them because it's deserving and it is merited, because they have done so much harm to the people and future of Nigeria. They have obstructed the destiny of Nigeria. They have destroyed millions of young people in Nigeria. They have destroyed babies, unborn babies. They have consumed the future of the country. The country as it stands right now is hopeless. And this is the reason why we must do something. It is urgent and compelling for every Nigerian. This is not about politics. Forget APC, forget PDP. Think about Nigeria. Organize, come together. Let's find a platform there's a platform called Open Nigeria. We are on Facebook. Just search on Facebook. Join the movement at Open Nigeria now. At Open Nigeria now. Just put at Open Nigeria now if you're a Nigerian. And then for the Africans, we are there too at Africa Unite for the Continental Organization for a push against the evil and darkness in Africa. So two, and they are spiritual organization. One is at Open Nigeria. One is at Open Nigeria. One is at Open Nigeria. All right? One is at Open Nigeria. Then secondly, the other one is at Africa Unite. At Africa Unite. At Africa Unite. Okay, more fire. You say they have a big statue of white Jesus in Nigeria. Well, those who have the statue of Nigeria, we allow, you know, God gave us the right to choice. You know, so those who have statues of a white Jesus, they are exercising their rights to choice. I don't have that because I don't believe that Jesus is white. So I do not have that. But those who have it, maybe we need to continue to educate them to understand who they are so they can find meaning into that. So maybe for now we'll continue to talk. All right, so yes, democracy is not working in Africa. And to make democracy work, there are steps that we must take. We must remove the obstacles or the impediments to the democratization of Africa. If there are human impediments, we must remove them. If there are structural impediments, we must remove them. If there are systemic impediments, we must remove them. So those are the things that we must get rid of in order to be put on the pathway to the actual democratization of Africa in a manner that will work in a manner that there won't be any more need for anybody to ask you questions about your tribe, about your religion, or about any other thing before you can get access to service or an access to serve or access to opportunity to be whatever you want to be. Yes, that is compelling. So we must remove those obstacles, be they human, be they structural, be they systemic. 3 obstacles that the African people must tackle on their way to genuine democracy, which they actually already have. You know, for any person who has a heart, who can discern between good and evil, light and darkness, freedom and slavery, and life and death. It's a question of choice that we, the people of Africa, must make. The world is not going to wait for us to make that choice. Those imperial powers who thrive on exploiting our people, they are very happy that Africa is in turmoil. They are very happy to continue to hold us captive. Yes. Okay, David Moss, he said, please look at a message I sent you before, more fire, and read it to the entire African nations. Please, and thank you, my beloved brother. Okay, let me look for it. Okay, let's... All right, I am happy with the stance Africa is taking now. Yes, I am from Jamaica, the land of Bob Marley. I read it before. Yes, the whole of Africa knows the position of Jamaicans. Jamaicans, African Americans, all the people in the Caribbean, they love Africa much more than some Africans in Africa. They connect spiritually with the mother continent. I've heard a very strong statement from the president of Trinidad and Tobago. That woman is something else. She is fiery. She is so patriotic. She is so Pan-African. Yes, yes. So we love you guys. We love you guys. And again, the type of Africa that I want to see is the Africa that will open doors for all black people any and everywhere on earth to return to without visa. We remove the visa. If you are a black person, automatic visa for you to come to Nigeria, to go to any part of Africa. And that is why we are working hard. That is why we are working so hard, really so hard, for the unification of Africa with one currency, without border, with one economy, with one reserve bank, and on top of it, with one army. So you from Jamaica can enlist in the United States of African Army that we are going to be building. I see it closer than we think it is, because the consciousness is spreading really far. Yes, it's only a few people driven by greed and by the power of their imperial masters that are on the way. But the people will push them out. One of those persons is Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Nigeria. Yes, this is why the Nigerian people must rise up. The Nigerian people must wake up. The Nigerian people must purge themselves of tribalism. The Nigerian people must purge themselves of religious nationalism. The Nigerian people must now compelling, purge themselves of regional nationalism. They are impediment to the growth and development and the progress and prosperity of Nigeria. Nigeria, Africa is waiting for you. And the obstacle you have is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Push him out by all means necessary. Push him out. He represents no good. He's not representing your interest. You see, for his presidency, he goes at times to spend a whole month in France. Ask him what he's doing. What is he doing in France? France is being treated like a leper all over Africa for its evil on the African continent. So why should Nigeria be giving France access to our armed forces? What is he going to France to do that he spent a whole month there? I am sure as we speak, he may have sneaked out of the country, into France again. Yes, that is what he does. France, Ivory Coast is pushing it out now. Burkina Faso has pushed out France. Mali has expelled France. Niger has expelled France. Senegal does not want France anymore. So what is Nigeria, through this criminal, doing with France? Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a rogue. He does not represent the interest and the future of Nigeria. If you are a Nigerian, he does not represent your interest. So when you see people organizing for his removal, join them. The only people I would not want to organize for his removal are those who call themselves Northern leaders. They are no good. They are fighting a tribal war. They are fighting a religious war. They don't represent the interest of the people of Nigeria in the north of Nigeria. They are driven purely by economics. They were the ones who forced him. They were the ones who forced him. They were the ones who forced him on our people. Yes, they were the one. They were the one who's forced him on the people of Nigeria. It's time. It's time. It's time. It is time. So when you hear like the people who are forming a coalition, Atiku Abubakar and El Rufai, their coalition is not for the good of Nigeria. They want to continue to look, they are muffin. That's what they do. Those who have held Nigeria captive since independence, and those who have held the Hausa people in captivity for 221 years, they are the ones behind the coalition that you are talking about. Distance yourselves from them, for they mean no good. They don't represent your interest. They are not about us. Yes. Yes. They are not about us. So when you see their coalition, run away from it. It's not a coalition of the Nigerian people. It's a coalition of those who call themselves northern elites. They know that their time is up. They know that their game is up. Nigerians don't want them anymore. And they will not be given access to power anymore. So they are looking for places to hide. So they continue to hold our country in captivity. So when you see that coalition involving Atiku Abubakar and El Rufai, turn yourselves. The only coalition that will uproot Tinubu is a coalition of the people of Nigeria. A coalition of people of Nigeria with no old faces in the front of it, with different faces who are driven purely by patriotic instinct. Those are the ones who will be able to push him out. But this coalition, driven by politics of economics, power, and finance, will not cut it. So be careful as we are speaking. So I'm trying to make that distinction for you. So when you see it, you will recognize it and flee from it. They are evil. What has Atiku got to offer? He's a spent force. He had a house here in Potomac, Maryland. Potomac. He had a mansion. Where did he get the money to build that mansion? Money from fraud. Yes, involving a U.S. Member of House of Representatives. Yes, Congressman Jefferson. America tried him and jailed him for 13 years. Atiku ran away from the United States, went to Nigeria, and was given a presidential ticket, a criminal given a presidential ticket to run in Nigeria's election. Yes, and he has been running from one election to the other since then. He now lives in Dubai after losing his access to coming to the United States. He's a fake. He's a liar. Then El Rufai, that Pinchomi guy, is a mischievous man. The terrorists that we are talking, the Fulani bandits and the militias that are operating everywhere in Nigeria. You ask him where they got them from. And ask him a question. Why towards the end of his tenure as governor of Kaduna State, terrorism and banditry increased and kidnapping increased? Because of an unfulfilled agreement that he had with them. They kidnapped a whole train in Nigeria. They kidnapped a whole train loaded with almost 1,000 people and took them into the bush in Nigeria. A Nigeria that has an armed forces. A Nigeria that has a policing system. And nobody as we speak was arrested. Nobody as we speak was prosecuted. Nobody as we speak was sent to jail. And we lost a young girl, a medical doctor. It cut down a future. And then she went. So how long are we going to continue with these people? Yes, who torment us with their terrorists. So I warn Nigeria, and this is why we must wake up and be decisive with whatever thing we want to do about the future of that country. Yes, the violence in Nigeria is going to increase. The kidnapping in Nigeria is going to increase. Yes, the raping in Nigeria, the abduction of school children in Nigeria is going to heighten as they talk about their election in 2027. If you ask me, the plan of an election should be shut down. Our efforts should be geared towards mobilizing the people of Nigeria to uproot the Nigerian political class and all the occupiers of political offices up to what is his name? This criminal, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that is a drug dealer, holding forth for imperial powers in Nigeria. It's urgent. It's an emergency. See, don't make no mistakes about that. If you don't do it, mark today that I'm telling you. Mark this day, the last day of May 2025. Mark today. If you are a Nigerian, you are an African, mark today. Nigerians will regret. What they did to Nigeria is what I can't understand. That people in Nigeria will adjust to this type of level of pain. Kidnapping and massacring of people have been accepted by the people of Nigeria as something normal. It's not normal. Our reactions are not normal. Something is wrong with us. I don't see any people anywhere on earth that will take what Nigerians are taking. I don't see any people on earth that will accept the type of kidnapping. Yes, that we are experiencing in Nigeria. I don't see any place where the judiciary, where the legislature, and where the executive fuse together the way they fuse, with no one differing on anything, where women are abused, like the rogue Senate president sexually abused a woman and expected her to be quiet. They expelled her from the Senate, suspended her from the Senate, and treated her as if she was the criminal, while protecting the real criminal. Which kind of country do we have? And do we call that democracy? Do we call that democracy? Democracy that awards immunities to criminals? No. What kind of democracy is that? No, that's not democracy. That's not who we are. Before the advent of the Europeans, we had a way, we had our legal system, we had our judicial system that worked for us. Yes, we could have improved on it, but we were fractured. And because we were fractured and we were redirected and miseducated, confused to the point where we are right now, which benefits our imperial oppressors and exploiters, that is why we are confused as a people. And this is the reason why we must find our bearing. And this is the reason why it is now and not tomorrow. It is now. It is compelling. We can't afford to not do it now. If we do otherwise, what we suffered in the past will be a child's play to what is coming. And what is coming is serious, because the forces involved have multiplied. The forces involved have become so virulent and invasive. Yes, it is scary. It is scary. We are not only going to have to be dealing with Imperial Europe and the Arabs. We are talking about the Chinese coming into play in Africa. And as we speak, they are everywhere. They are everywhere in our villages, harvesting and digging minerals. They have no respect for the environment. They are polluting our waters. Yes, if you are not concerned, if you are not scared, I am. If you are not worried, I'm so worried. And this is why it is you, the young people of Africa, it is your lives that are being put in jeopardy. And this is the reason why you should be the champions of change in Africa. This is your moment. This is your time. And it is your continent that you must defend. Why not rise up now? Why are you sleeping? Especially those in Nigeria. The young people in Nigeria, they are not behaving up to par. I am disappointed. Very, very disappointed. Yes, with the attitude of most young people in Nigeria. They don't understand that their country is about to be destroyed completely. The destruction has been ongoing. They are about to finish off the country. And you are doing what? Keeping quiet and doing absolutely nothing. You Nigerian youth, I am talking to you now. You get angry because we tell you the truth. But the only thing we know how to is to tell you the truth. And I have to tell you. Someone has to tell you. I don't want to I will not tell you, because if I stand for any election tomorrow, vote against me for telling you the truth. Vote against me for telling you the truth. Nigerian youths, when Buhari said you were lazy, you were all angry. I thought that you were going to carry your anger into an election that will uproot him and bring about light into Nigeria. But close to that election, you did your usual magic. You did a direct opposite. All of you who were hearing, talking about that, you were insulted. You lined behind the criminal and they put him in power. And he unleashed the terrorists that have destroyed your country. Now, where are you? You can't even unite. You can't come together. You are still talking about tribalism in this age, jet age of 21st century. Who benefited from tribalism? Have we not been tribal all our life as a country? 64 years of plain tribalism, 64 years of playing between Christian and Islam, two foreign religions. Yes, yes. Where has that taken us? Absolutely nothing. We listen to criminals like Gumi. We listen to people like Adeboye repressing us with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Yes, and then we are not able to do anything. They are not teaching you about the dominion that the Almighty God gave to you. Dominion over all things, including dominion over bad leadership and bad leaders. Dominion over darkness. Yes, dominion over hate. Dominion over discrimination. Dominion over division. Dominion against unity. Yes, God gave all of us that. What are you doing with your dominion? And in addition to your basic human rights that are being flagrantly abused in Nigeria, your right to life, your right to choice, your right to freedom of expression, your right to freedom of association, your right to self-determination, they are all being abused. You know, you exist like no human beings. Any man without a right, any people without a right are as good as dead. Yes, so where is your right as human being? And now where are your rights as Nigerians? You know, as Nigerians, you are, as a citizen of any nation, you have rights that are guaranteed by that country. Your right to live anywhere and live peacefully and lawfully. Yes, that is being violated. Otherwise, if it's not being violated, why do some people tell an Igbo man that he has to leave Lagos, he has to leave Kano, he has to leave Sokoto to go to his place in a country that is east? Why some people talk about Yoruba people? Why some people angry with the Hausa people? Yes, because we have failed to see sense in uniting. We have continued to listen to the same people who have kept us in captivity, who benefit by exploiting us, benefit by making us remember our tribes at all times. I didn't say forget your tribe, but you know, everything is not about your tribe. We are talking about national consciousness. We are talking about the threat to our humanity, and everybody is quiet. That is why Boko Haram is doing what they are doing everywhere, because we don't care about our country. We don't care about our people. When it's happening in the north, you say it's not. Leave it alone. Until now, it's happening everywhere, right? Yes. When they were massacring, and they are still massacring the Igbos, burying young people in shallow graves, you say it's not because you are not an Igbo man. Now it's coming everywhere. They will come for you. They will come for all of us. So I hope that inspires us to build that bond of citizenship so we can take our country back. It is so important. It's such an emergency. We have toiled enough for far too long. Let us wake up and retake Nigeria. We can rebuild that country on a brand new platform of justice and fairness and equity. Yes, and this is the reason why we are calling, and this is the reason why I am championing the call for an open Nigeria with free, fair, equal, unlimited, and unconditional access to opportunity for every Nigerian. I didn't say some, for every Nigerian to grow and develop, progress and prosper according to his or her abilities and levels of competency in a non-threatening environment. Yes. What can be as good as that? If me from Nigeria, born in Nigeria, I worked in South Africa. From South Africa, I migrated here to work and live here. I've lived here for 29 years. You know, one beautiful thing about the United States, you know, I can move now from Oklahoma, from Oklahoma. I can move from Houston or Texas to Oklahoma The only change that I will make if I have a car is to change my license plate number to reflect my new place where I live. I'll change my ID, right? I will get a job the next minute. I will apply for a job, and if I'm qualified, they are looking for qualification. You are qualified, you can do the job. They are not looking for where you come from. They are not looking for the color of your skin for the most part of it. All right? What can you give? That's what they are looking for. And if you meet their standard, you will be hired. And you do the job. And you live peacefully in the place. Nobody, depending on where you live, there are some places where you don't want to live in America. And that one you know by choice, that if you go there, you are going on your own. You are going to stoke trouble. Just live. Wherever you are tolerated, you can live there. Wherever you are not wanted, you don't have to go there. But it's unlike Nigeria. It's a generalized thing. If you are not from one place, you won't get a job. You won't have access. And that is the reason why the wrong people are occupying positions in Nigeria. That's the reason why unqualified people are everywhere running our country down. Quality is what they look for. I worked in a prestigious hospital, I believe is the best in the world, MD Anderson Cancer Hospital here in Houston, Texas, United States of America. When I was applying, a young friend of mine from Nigeria told me, that hospital is a white hospital. They will not give you a job. I didn't allow that demoralize me. I went on ahead and applied. A few days later, they called me for an interview. I went to the interview and I excelled and was given the job. I actually, I gave them more than they needed. I worked there until I decided to leave. Yes, but if it was in Nigeria, they will ask me, where are you from? They see my last name. Oh, are you a Christian or a Muslim? I'm going to tell you my story about a job. We got a long way to go, but we can fast track going. So I got the job at MD Anderson, did my part until I left, and I founded my own business. And the line of business I was doing exposed me to people from across the country. I traveled around the United States. Precisely, I traveled to 48 of America's 50 states. 48. That is no joke. I know this country so well. I know the mindset. I know the behavior. I met some of the brightest minds in doing my job because my work was around the universities and colleges. I met some of the best thinkers. And then I know the level of discussions I had each time I was exposed to them. Some would tell me, why are you here? Go back to Nigeria and shape things up. So they don't understand that Nigeria does not like people who are intelligent. Nigeria does not like people. The Nigerian system does not like people who are bright. The Nigerian system does not like people who are outspoken. The Nigerian system do not like those who know how to do things. They like idiots. And because it is more profitable for them to have idiots driving the Nigerian system. That's why you see idiots all over the place. The traditional institution, a lot of idiots there. All right? The political class populated by mostly idiots. So, and then you see these idiots make policies for Nigeria. So how will idiots progress a country? How will idiots prosper a country? The best of Nigeria, the Nigerian leaders are not in the saddle of leadership. Nigerian leaders are either in the United States or elsewhere. Yes, the true Nigerian leaders, those who should be leading Nigeria, they are never anywhere near the pathway to leading Nigeria. Nigeria has no leaders. So they have brigands, they have idiots leading the country. Now, I give you an example of my own very peculiar experience in Nigeria. I'm a registered nurse. In 1988, I applied for a job at the NNPC, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. They advertised for a position of an industrial nurse in one of their facilities in Hotoro, Kano. I applied and was invited for an interview. I went to the interview. I think it were about 10 of us who came for the interview for one position. Then when we did the test, I came tops. Now, if you came tops, were you not supposed to be given the job? But you know what? I was not given the job. Now, you want to know why I was not given the job? They told me that my state's quota, my state then was Bender State. My state's quota had been filled. And because of that, they could not give me that job. Does that make sense? Are you hearing that? So, I was asking myself, am I a citizen of this country? Am I a citizen of Nigeria? I kept on asking myself. So, out of all the 10 that came to apply for the job, they were looking, they said, I asked a question, why can I not get this job? They said, because I was not from Kano. If I was from Kano State or from another state, I think a river state, educationally disadvantaged state, they will give me the job. Now, and there was no person from Kano who was qualified for the job that I had applied for. So somebody put me aside and said, okay, your name is Madu. Your name is Madu. You know what you do? Add AH before M. So your name will now become Ahmadu. And then it will sound like a Muslim. And once you do that, they will give you the job. And another one told me to change to become a Muslim. Outright conversion to Islam in order for me to be given the job. Because that part of Nigeria is considered an Islamic part of Nigeria. I said, no, I cannot. Why should I become a Muslim? Because I want a job. In my own country, I said, now, if I did that, I wouldn't even be a good Muslim. I would be a very bad Muslim. And I would be a very frustrated Muslim. I would hate Islam. So why should I become a Muslim for a job? So I said, the job can go to hell. So I left. I left their job. And then whoever they took for the job is only, I don't know, but there was no person from Kano who was most suited to get the job because of what it is that I know about that place. So if they're looking for a qualified someone from Kano, they may not get that person at that time, maybe until after 20 years, because that child has to be born, sent to school, elementary school, go to finish elementary school, go to high school, then go to school of nursing and get a certificate in industrial nursing, which is most unlikely. You see how stupid. You see how wicked. So you tell me about democracy? No, I'm not a part of that democracy. Yeah, so what is the meaning? So when I came here, I started getting jobs left and right and center, and nobody cared where I came from. They didn't even care about my funny last name. What they wanted me to do always was to prove that I could do the job. And I proved again and again and again and again. And in business, I proved myself again and again and again. So that system must die. And the only way to kill the system is to have revolutionaries who are thinking like Ibrahim Traore. Revolutionaries who thought like Thomas Sankara, those who talk like Samora Machel, those who asked the same question that Patrice Lumumba asked, those who had the mindset of Kwame Nkrumah, those who had the capacity to build like Emperor Haile Selassie built Ethiopia from scratch. Those are the people that Africa needs. They don't have to come through their Western democracy. as long as it works out for them and their people are happy. So that is democracy. Yes, that is democracy. For us to get this democracy that we want so badly, that the imperial forces want for us, that the democracy that will make us so indebted has made many African countries indebted and sinking in debt. It's not working. Democracy driven by World Bank policy. Yes, that puts African countries in trap. It's not working. Now, question, why is it that it's only African countries that are owing World Bank so much? Yes, the colonial mind, like you said, Marvin Elkins, need to be exercised. And it's a tough job, and that is what I have been doing since the past nearly 20 years of speaking to the people of Nigeria. Now the mission has expanded to Africa. You see, people like us, we come like comets. People like Kwame Nkrumah, who had this lofty ambition, vision. He came to the Organization for African Unity. At the time it was being formed, he said, please, my brothers, let's not waste time. Let us go on ahead and dissolve all old boundaries and make Africa one country. They did not listen to him. Yeah, they had the Casablanca group, they had the Monrovia group. One of the groups was more progressive than the others, even if they all agreed that Africa needed to be one. There were some who would go back to speak to their colonial masters, who will advise them otherwise. That was how we missed that golden opportunity to turn Africa in one country at one swoop, right about 1960. Yes. So since then, it has been. We gave the colonial powers, the imperialists, all the time they needed to systematically remove all those people with those great minds from power, either through overthrowing them or through assassination, like the case was for Patrice Lumumba, who was murdered and his body taken to Belgium, dissolved in concentrated sulfuric acid. Just a few years ago, they brought 2 teeth of his that were left. Yes, King Leopold of that little ratish Belgium massacred over 12 million Congolese. And they're to here these people go to sleep and still want to continue to tell us that we are backward, that they are coming to help us. Help us do what? They are helping us to defend us. Defend us against who? Protect us against who? They build their military bases all over Africa. Protecting who? Who are they protecting? Who do they work for? They don't work for us. They are not working for our interests. They don't care about us. They don't give a damn about us. It's about exploiting Africa. Yes, their ancestors did it. And the descendants are doing it. And we foolish African people are still playing along and not waking up. So this is the reason it is compelling right now. By all means necessary, remove all the puppets holding positions of authority in Africa, so Africa will be free. Bye for now. I love you guys, all of you who took your time to come in to listen to this sermon. I appreciate you sincerely and very, very deeply, including those who disagree with our position. Yes, we need you to hear this and perhaps take it to those who think like you. So perhaps you can inspire them to start thinking otherwise. They come to us so we can talk to one another face to face and eyeball to eyeball for an understanding so we can build a better world. So again, if you have not subscribed, please use this moment, use this minute to subscribe to our channel. We love you and want to see you a permanent part of us as we grow this organic movement. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate you so seriously and look forward to hearing from you in our next trip, in our next stream. It's always been such a great pleasure, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Seriously and very sincerely, I appreciate all of you. Some of you took your time to remain awake from your various countries to be part of this moment. It's not easy, and we don't, we don't play with that. We love you for doing that. We love you for the sacrifice, of time that you made. All right, Annie, God increase your wisdom. Thank you very much, Annie, Julie. We appreciate you. Right. All right. Bye for now. And I love all of you. Out of mind, man. Out of mind. Yes. So let's connect again. Perhaps tomorrow I'm going to be back with something different. Farrakhan's now ending live. Okay. You see, okay. Great to talk to you guys, man. I don't even know. It's a lot of comments right now. I think Africa without boundaries is romanticized view. Well, that is your opinion. But for those of us who are working towards it, we mean it by every drop of our blood. We will continue to, increase our voice until it makes sense to the majority of, the critical majority of our people. Africa must unite. And there's no doubt about that. Adeiga, thank you very much, Rashid. We appreciate peace and blessings to all of you. Wow, I wish I can read every comment. It's a lot. Wow, Farrakhan told Africa about what's under their feet. Absolutely. Farrakhan is a great teacher. One thing I love about him, I wish every Muslim would be like him. Farrakhan is a teacher. Is a gifted teacher. When I was in South Africa, I remember one time he was going to come to South Africa. Some people were freaking out that like a Satan was coming to South Africa. When I started listening to this guy, yes, he knows the Bible, he knows the Quran, he knows Africa, he knows a lot. He's a scholar. So I give it to him. He's a great teacher. And I encourage people to listen to him. He's a great guy. Yes. We want good leaders and not those who are puppets. Thank you very much, Marvin, for that. Racism is very complex, but really real. It has many looks. Absolutely, I agree with you. I experience it, here every day, but we have a way of reacting to it. Great thing that this place have a system of dealing with it, but we don't have any system of dealing with tribalism in Nigeria. It happens to everybody, everywhere. It depends on who it happens to. So, but what I know that all these things, including racism, they don't prosper any country. They don't prosper anywhere. But for the sake of time, I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Bye and much love. Bye-bye.